This is my reference image here. I'll keep that to the side. Shift A and pick a sphere. I already have in multi-texture, I have the mud cap on. I've selected this texture, or this default Lambert, just kind of mimic clay mostly. I'm going to zero it out so it's at the origin. By pressing tab and 6, I'm going to go into the mesh, edit mode, go into the mesh, press W, subdivide smooth, W again, subdivide smooth, so it's plenty of mesh to work with. I'm going to press tab and go back into object mode, make sure it's on smooth again, and then tab and 8 for sculpt, just to make sure everything's right here as well. For anyone else who's kind of starting off, I went into view and I brought the lens up to 100 just so it's better quality. I have Dino Topo turned on. I have it in as subdivide collapse and relative detail. So then what I'm going to do is press F to increase the size of the brush, Alt and the pen just to rotate around. Control Alt zooms in and out, and Shift Alt allows me to move around the scene. So flatten out what I want a little bit, just to get it to look like the side of a head. I'm just going to work from this side because it's getting to where I want to be. So it's just looking a little bit like the side of a head, just as a kind of starting point. Shift smooths, just going to smooth that out a little bit. And then I'm going to press 3 for clay strips. I'm going to go with Sculpt Draw to start with. And I'm just going to literally F, make the thing smaller. I'm going to literally draw an ear. Let's try and build up as much as I can of an ear. Let's try and make it as big and bold as I can, just to have it coming out there from the head. So like I said, as big and bold as I can. And I'm going to this bit here. That's how I'm going to start. Press 3 for clay strips, build up the inside of the ear a little bit too. Build it up maybe a bit more. Now, to get the opposite effect, if you press Control, it'll take it away again. Alt while you're moving around, Control. Just bring that back a little bit, just because I was looking at it from the front and I want it to be fairly even. That's Shift to smooth it. Shift smooths this out a little bit so it's going back a bit again. And then 4 for the pinch brush. Then I'll get a pinch brush and just try and pinch in there between the ear and the head, trying to find that a bit. It's something I find I do a lot as I go along when I smooth it out, and I have to go back and pinch it again, but just to define it a little bit to start with. So maybe F, bring it down. The size, you also have the strength, which is here. Kind of happy with the strength at the moment, so I'll kind of try and leave it, not to play around with it too much, because kind of get used to it being a certain way. So just pinch, or not pinching, but creasing as much as I can all around there, and maybe get a crease inside in the ear itself, just there. Now depending on where you're drawing from, you kind of get different effects. You just get the feel of it as you go along. That's my third, fourth, maybe even fifth ear. Some of them have come out nicely. Hopefully this one will. So that's already kind of getting there. So what I want to do is just build up a little hollow or whatever in here. Pinch, so it's P for pinch, and just gives it more definition along the end of the ear there. Pulls it together a bit. Definitely pulls it together here, but just a bit of a pinch, and gives it a bit of direction. So back to crease. Let's give it a bit of a crease along here as well. It's just starting to define itself a bit, and maybe another bit of a crease in there. So like I said, shift smooths it a bit, knocking it back a bit, but it just smooths it out a little bit, and maybe crease along here might just define a bit there, and just try and get in there one more time. So that's not too bad. If I go into tab and pick object mode again and just press smooth again, gives kind of a feel of how it would work when you have it smoothed it out. Mode, press smooth. You get a feel of the ear there. It's a bit pointed in a place there. It's kind of nice, something very simple, just show what I've learned. Not too invasive, and just something interesting. This was probably one of my first ones. It's less invasive again. It didn't come out from the head as much. I didn't turn off the symmetry, so it's there on both. The shape is very, very nice. It's got a nice little shape, some nice little details. Again, very close to the head. I'm trying to improve that, kind of take it out. Going to go into object mode and just smooth. Doesn't look quite as good in object mode as it does in sculpt mode, which is funny. Yeah, without sound, but looks something like an orc's ear. And I go into sculpt mode, so it's okay. It's starting to come out a bit more. It's just not as built up.